Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Start the morning.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise in the Shell Morning Coffee Show. Hey, how's it going? Looking good. Did your hair today? It must be Friday, right? It must be Friday. Did your hair very nice. Like mine. Whoop, bald. All right, we got Hillbilly, Lone Wolf, Captain Waffles, and hopefully, very shortly, TCG Dude. You want to say hello? Say hello in chat. Everybody watching, you guys rock, you guys roll. We're going to be talking about the Wild West of Magic the Gathering. It's kind of a pre-covered topic, but we're going to talk about what's involved in the Wild West. But the main reason why the song came to my mind, the title came to mind is because of the song by Will Smith, The Wild Wild West, came to my brain. I'm like, why don't we talk about that? I know it's not Outlaws of Thunder Junction season, but we are in the Wild Wild West of Magic again, renewing, discovering, looking, doing different things, changing our mind, flipping my bipolar brain upside down, going, what? We got a hillbilly drinking coffee over there. How you doing, hillbilly?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah,
That's why my camera was off when we started. We got to get my dang on coffee.
You gotta get the coffee. The coffee rocks. The coffee rolls. Yes. How you doing, Lone Wolf?
No, I'm doing pretty good.
Woo, excited that you're here. Oh, wow. And look at you. You pruned your fur. You're looking pretty good for a wolf over there. And we got the amazing Captain Waffles here today in the show. He jumped in. Whoa.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I got one question. Did you bring the syrup, Captain Waffles?
I always bring the syrup.
He always brings the syrup. We got Mooginful in chat. Hello, Mooginful. Hello. All right. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out and thank you to all my members of the channel, subscribers of the channel. We're going to do that clip thing where I'm saying thank you because you guys make the channel rock, roll, and grow. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do. Yes, I want to thank you, everybody like Captain Waffles, like Tortilla Time, everybody who's a member of the channel. Thank you for what you do, supporting the channel the way you do, and you subscribers, everything you do for the channel is amazing. Like liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting on the videos, chatting in the chat box, whatever, everything you do, you make the channel rock. You make the channel roll. Yes.
I don't know who's out on my channel. I don't know who's a channel member, who is an actual channel member, and who's a gifted channel member.
Wow. Well, you got a lot of members. Whoa.
Yep. I keep having somebody come in every now and then. They'll gift a sub. I'm like, okay. Who's an actual channel member?
I know I am.
Yep.
Captain Waffle's been supporting us from the get-go. We appreciate that 100%. Yeah. Like, I know my channel memberships are small, like in price, but you know, it adds up and it lets me do things for the channel that I normally don't get to do myself. So I appreciate you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like the giveaways we're going to be doing on the channel in the next month. It's going to be amazing. So keep an eye out on that. Whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, and if I have to clause it, it's physical product I'm giving out. So U.S. only. Man, hey, hey! It's a wonderful kind of day. So let's get into the one segment of the day we normally don't get to lately, but we need to get to it in the beginning of the show. That's when it goes, and that would be
Card of the day.
woo. We got the card of the day. You'll notice there's a theme today by the thumbnail of the picture. We got Treasure Cruise. 7/8 mana, 7 generic, and a blue has Delve, which is amazing for this card. Hillbilly needs a copy of this card if he doesn't have it for his Zimone deck.
Yep.
And you draw 3 cards. Pretty solid, pretty good. Yeah, because you don't use a lot of graveyard recursion in your Zimone deck, Hillbilly. You do
No, I got one card in there where I can get all my stuff back from my graveyard, but
yep.
that's the only card I got.
For the useless cards, you can exile them from your graveyard to make this cost 1 generic less. And for the price of possibly 1 mana, you can draw 3 cards.
Ain't too bad.
It's pretty.
This is a cheap man's recall.
That's right. That's right. Cheap man's recall, and it's a good one. It's a good one. All right. But on the theme of today's topic, we go into the picture of the day. The picture of the day is there be gold in this here Magic the Gathering.
Ain't that the dang on truth? Where they dang on prices are.
Right there, gold. He's gold member. But anyways, I made an AI generated picture of a bearded cowboy in a game shop, and I edited the picture to throw in all the treasure tokens and the treasure map in his hand. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. And yeah, people do treat the game like there's gold in the product, and the value's in the eye of the beholder, and yet the beholder is the secondary market and the people who buy. A friend of mine pulled a $700 one-piece card. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, we're here, and hey, check it out. That was the card of the day and the picture of the day, and yeah, let's get into this saucy topic. Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Welcome to the Wild Wild West, right? A Magic the Gathering. So, why the Wild West of Magic the Gathering, right? Because, hey dudes, happy Friday to y'all, TCG dude, what's up? So why the term Wild West or the Wild West? Because back in the day, we were in the Wild West of Magic when Magic was trying to figure things out, trying to figure out the allocations, how printing worked, trying to figure out how packs worked. Because, true fact, back in the day, they didn't realize that people would be able to get consistent pulls out of booster packs, that people would actually run 4 of 1 card in a deck, especially when it came to the rares. Then it stumped their brains when they realized, when they started their first tournament, that people had multiple copies of rares in their deck. And they had to figure that out. And it took them a while to figure that out. And they figured it out, and they started working on learning about the allocations of booster packs and printing the cards and stuff to make things rare and more rare. And they did it. By God, they did it.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. So why are we in the Wild West again? Well, we're in the Wild West because we're exploring new frontiers, right? We're exploring different product values. Like they're trying different products and putting them out with these new IPs, the universes beyond. They're testing the waters. They're exploring new land and seeing how it goes. Lewis and Clark would be proud of Wizards of the Coast. All right, let me get into my little descriptor here, my little monologue. says, welcome to the Wild West of Magic the Gathering. Where do the cards go wild? And so is the product. The product is wild. As Wizards of the Coast is discovering a new frontier of the game, they are still slinging a whole new undiscovered world of the game. Universes Beyond is going wild, and the universe sets are becoming smashing successes, like in-universe sets, right? And players and collectors are trying to round up their products at haste and persision. The life of a magic cowboy is tough. It's like there's gold in this product of MTG, and people are gold rushing for it. Let's take a moment to deliberate and collaborate, or calibrate. Not collaborate. Calibrate our thoughts and discuss this topic today. Yeah. So the topic is, where are we in this Wild West adventure, right? Where are we? What's going on? What does the layout look like in Magic the Gathering? The layout is vast. I mean, this is the first year where we had more Universes Beyond product than in-universe product altogether, i.e., not including secret layers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, we had SpongeBob earlier this year, or was that last year? I can't remember. Secret layers come and go, but they do different things all the time, so it kind of doesn't count. I mean, we did get the Sonic secret layer, and that was a smashing success for the Soul Ring. Apparently, everybody wanted that particular Soul Ring art. Sold out quick.
Mm-hmm.
But here, what sets have we had this year? Well, man, what sets have we had in here, Hillbilly?
Too many to count.
Too many to count. That's funny, because there's been a set about every 2 months. Every 2 months. Heck, we just got Edge of Eternities last month. And at the end of this month, we're going to be getting Spider-Man.
Yeah, not to mention the spoilers. If you want to talk about the spoilers, I already spoiled Avatar. And Spider-Man ain't out yet.
Well, tonight at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, there'll be a video on Wizards of the Coast channel.
Oh,
about Spider-Man. So keep an eye out on that.
cool.
This is what should be expected in late stage capitalism. Laser focus on short-term gains with rapid-fire IP releases. It treats our attention the same way social media does. That is very astute, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're already putting out teasers for Lorwyn, and we haven't even gotten Spider-Man or Avatar or anything else, and we're already getting teased with Lorwyn.
Yeah, Lorwyn's next year too.
Yeah.
Holy cow. They're trying to tease us. Look, I haven't been able to buy a lot of Edge of Eternities. There's still a couple cards I want from Edge of Eternities. We're getting Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man. This is the problem with when they do good things, right? They come out with Edge of Eternities. I want Edge of Eternities. But not too long after that, they're coming out with Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man, right? I can't afford to do both.
Yep, and that I agree with, and that is, that's the issue I see that's happening. And
Right.
I myself, could be wrong, just my opinion, but I think they're going to end up killing their game if they don't slow down, because everybody's going to want these cards, and they ain't going to be able to afford them, because before you can get the card you want, there comes another card you want.
Mhm.
And then before you get that, so you try to get those, boom, here comes another set with a card that you want. I mean, it's just a never-ending.
This reminds me of the housing market,
Mhm.
with the fact that on the scale of there's going to be a huge economic magic market,
Mhm.
just like there was in the housing market, because you have so much demand for the product and people are overexpending their leverage and going into debt. These shouldn't do for
Ooh.
a collectible card game that realistically has no intrinsic value if shit hits the fan. And these people are impulse buying and spending tens of thousands of dollars. And when the money runs out, or the people file for bankruptcy or realize that they can't do this anymore, and they're not actually making a profit on anything, it's going to be a huge financial collapse for Wizards. And I don't know if Wizards is actually paying attention to this or not, but they're going to eventually, it's going to be back to laying people off, losing jobs and stuff, and slowing print runs down and causing things to come back down to earth because the bubble has gotten too big. We are getting to a point where it's like the tulip bubble. Like, people did the same thing there. Like, history repeats itself, and it does it on many occasions with many different things. And I think we are currently in the largest Magic bubble that we've ever been in.
Mhm.
And I think and the stock market as well, and all the other stuff, is eventually everything's going to collapse, and we're going to have a reset.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Nowicki says maybe WotC is racing against the recession and trying to get as much made before the general economic downward trend. That could be a solid. What's the word I'm thinking of? Pretty much an educated guess, but there's a word I was thinking of. Like when you see the statistics and you can watch the trend, that word. But yeah, like there's a lot going on because I think people are riding the golden goose train here. Because look at Final Fantasy, the biggest set ever sold in Magic the Gathering right now. Not even Magic's own IP. And previously to that was also the most selling set was Lord of the Rings. Not their own IP. It sounds like Wizards of the Coast could be losing their own image here. Because and they're transforming their image, evolving their image to be, instead of just being Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, it's going to be Wizards of the Coast, that game that takes other IPs and makes it a fun, playable format.
Yeah, I don't think they're end up. I mean, this is just joking around, but I think they're going to end up changing their name to Magic the Gathering Collabs. Magic the Gathering Collab game.
I mean, it's like the Batman quote. It's like the Batman quote. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's what they're doing. They're slowly going through this metamorphosis of not caring about their own IP because they see the financial gain of doing crossovers and collecting people for short-term gain, and then they lose the actual base and it collapses in on itself. I mean, I said this 15 years ago, and I've said it ever since. The only thing that will kill Magic the Gathering is Magic itself. The people at that company are the only thing that can kill that thing, because it is so ingrained into our society, so ingrained into the players that love it, that play it, that collect it, everything, that if you put sour enough taste in everyone's mouth, they're all going to spit it out and move on.
Yep.
All right, and look, people are enjoying the game. Collectors are enjoying the game. Collectors, like, we know that more collectors and resellers are buying product ever than before. Like, and I'm talking about people who are not playing the game, but they're selling the game. They're buying the product from the stores and the allocated areas you can before you and I, the player, can, to sell you the product for a higher price.
Yeah, and the only reason why they're doing that is because they know they can make the money. If they knew so let's rewind 20 years ago, back when Magic wasn't as popular and it wasn't as, monetary gain, people still loved the game, played it, collected, and bought it. But the rise of the intrinsic value of it because of serialized cards and collectibles and all the other stuff that comes with what they created, that's what drove more people into it, not because of the game itself. It's because of the money they can make. I mean, Rudy's been saying it. A lot of others have been saying it. Wizards has created a monster that they cannot put back into the cage with this whole serialized and collectors and secret layers and everything, because there's just no way to now. Like if they get rid of it, then they're going to lose so much on the front end with numbers, from pre-sales to all this other stuff. The scalpers go away, the resellers go away, the whole secondary market collapses. As the secondary market collapses, their primary market collapses.
Mhm.
So they have to literally keep feeding this greed monster, or they lose everything. And that's what they've created without realizing it. And now they're just like, well, we're just going to keep shoving coal into the train and drive it right off a cliff.
Oh yeah, it is insanity, and it's happening, right? And like we live in an era in this Wild West where it's like being a leader, right? Where you can't make a good decision without people complaining, and you can't make a bad decision without people applauding, right? And I use those two terms loosely because it goes vice versa as well. But like the serialized cards was a good idea for those collectors and people who wanted it. But what it did is it brought eyes from other people who like, wait, there's value in Magic the Gathering. Maybe I should get into it. You know, maybe I should start buying for those 1 of 500 pieces. Maybe I can buy a $5 to $7 booster pack and make $50 on that particular pack. You know, it's crazy how it's going. And I will not lie, I love the game, but I have no personal interest in a serialized card. And if I ever pulled one, I'd probably sell it to get it out of my hands to buy more Magic cards, because most serialized cards are regular cards with cooler versions, usually, that you can get. TG Dude said MetaZoo died and is coming back. There may be a future timeline where MTG goes away as we know it from Wizards, but revived by another company, or WotC again after a company flush out. I've mentioned something like that a long time ago, where if Magic the Gathering ever died, I believe another company would pick it up and redo the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here trying to bash the game or say that it's terrible or anything. What I'm saying is, from my viewpoint, this is what I'm seeing. I still love the game. I still play the game. I still buy cards. I still play Arena. Everything. That's never going to die. What does everything for me in all this situation is it has made me take a step back from buying product and just go, you know what? I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I'm not going to sit here and kill myself to try to buy cards, especially when I have a platform like Arena where I can just play it for free and have some fun and test some stuff out.
Right.
And see where I would like to go with certain deck building options in paper if I ever want to go that route.
Right.
But I have gone through some personal things to where I like to be minimalistic with stuff.
Right.
I don't like having a large collection. It just doesn't suit me because it's like these cards are just sitting here and I'd much rather sell them or give them away to people who are going to use them and enjoy them rather than me just hoard them. And that's my own philosophy.
Right.
But like, I like you see the photos behind, like the picture frames behind me. I like certain artwork and stuff, and I'm going to collect it and display it because that's what I want to do. I'm going to collect, and that stuff's relatively cheap and inexpensive. And so there are certain aspects that I like to display the cards because they have great artwork, or, you know, I have favorite cards. But the thing is make this your own and don't follow the crowd. Don't be so wrapped up in the hype that you put yourself in a bad situation because you got to have Spider-Man or you got to have Avatar. Like, be reasonable about it. Like, if you want to buy it, buy it. There's nothing against that. But in the long term, make those good decisions and play the game for what you want it to be and don't get wrapped up in the hype.
Right. Do not let FOMO bite you in the butt. That's one of the things I've learned over the years is don't let FOMO bite you in the butt, because even though Edge of Eternity is out and I want cards from it, doesn't mean those cards won't be on the market in the future. You know,
True.
They will be there. Kevin Haynes says, I believe that Magic boomers aren't willing to face the fact that without you, Universe Beyond Magic was a generational toy game that was on a 20-year lifespan. After Magic's 30th anniversary, maybe Universe Beyond may have extended its life. Well, we don't think that Magic is dying. and I don't think Universes Beyond is hurting the company. I do think it's like a facelift, and yes, us boomers do not like change all the time, but we're willing to accept it because we love the game. In fact, one of our regular players, the Hero Wave, that plays with us, is always playing out the new cards or a new commander. We let him proxy some cards from the sets to test out decks for his other tables and other groups that he plays with. You know, we love seeing new cards. We are not opposed to the new cards. You know, we just know as boomers that well, technically we're not boomers. We're not born in that generation, but boomers, meaning old people in this situation, is that there's just so much going on, it's hard to keep up with, right? So much going on, right? And we're smart enough not to buy everything that comes out. Like we're not afraid we're going to miss out on product. Edge of Eternity is still going to be on the shelf for a couple months. Knock on wood. And and you know, Spider-Man's coming out. That's more invested in than Edge of Eternities because there's only 2 cards from Edge of Eternities that I really want my collection. That's the Exalted Sunborn Angel that doubles your tokens, and the Board Wipe that mills everything. Everybody, you know. And you know, if you want some of my advice here, if you're into Magic Gathering and your favorite format is Commander, assumingly, because there's other formats people like Modern, Standard, whatnot. But if you're playing Commander, just pick up one of your decks. Focus on buying cards for that deck to improve the deck and get the cards you want for flavor. Do not get wrapped around other sets coming out because those cards will be on the market anytime soon. And look, even though a card can be $40, sometimes that's better to pay that $40 for that card than it is to gamble on a fat pack, bundle pack, or play booster box or a collector box. Sometimes it's just cheaper in the long run to buy the singles. And that's why we say buy singles, because you know you're guaranteed to get the card you want more than it is to play a gambling game. Now, if you love the gamble of opening packs, do your thing. You know, do your thing. But we don't think Magic's dying anyways. I don't think Magic was dying when Magic 30th came out. I just think the audience they were targeting, well, they said that it was a successful set, but I don't think that the audience that was targeting the right people.
Right.
You know, it was a collector's thing, not a player's thing. And that's where the product fell short for me. And so
it fell short for me because it was $1,000 for 4 packs. If they would have made it a collector set to tug at the heartstrings of the collectors and nostalgia players alike, they should have just ran it like a normal product and, you know, have the collector back to it so it's not playable at any tournament or anything like that. And I think it would have been a huge success. I think it was a complete flop. And they totally dropped the bag on that one. And I absolutely agree. Magic is not dying. It's evolving. There's a big difference between dying and evolving. And the evolving part for us, quote unquote, boomers is not taken very well. But at the same time, they are evolving in a way that does bring some nostalgia for childhood memories and stuff for some of us. And if you resonate, take it. If you don't, understand that companies have to evolve. Like, otherwise they do die. Like, you have to evolve. And even as a person yourself, you have to evolve. Like, it's part of life. So I don't think Magic is dying. I just think they're running in a bad direction. And that's my personal opinion.
Right.
I think they could have evolved in a different way that was more suitable and probably better in the long run. That's my perspective on it.
Right, that's a good perspective too, because what they're doing with the IPs and the Universes Beyond is they're trying to grow wider than they are trying to grow taller right now. They're trying to get more people in the game, and that's stunting the growth of growing taller as a game. Because as they grow wider, and with the way they've been going and the statistics are showing, is they're getting more collectors in the game than they are getting more players in the game. But the game is growing exponentially faster. And I think what's going on, I don't think even Wizards of the Coast is ready for the growth that they're emitting, right? And I say emitting, not admitting. Like they're emitting, like they're showing, they're glowing. I don't think they have the resources to keep up with the growth that's happening, because the question is how do you appease the players, which are the people who really keep your game alive, because without them the collectors don't really have a value,
Right.
a valuable product, right? How do you appease the players and the collector? And I think they're struggling with that mix.
Well, I think the way you appease the players is you slow down on how many sets you release, because when I went to Spotlight Series Indianapolis,
Right.
they had way less people than they expected. They expected like almost 2,000, and I think only like 800 showed up.
Wow.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're putting out too much product too quickly, and they're not play testing enough, and there's too many powerful cards getting through that shouldn't be getting through, and it's warping formats in a way that you either play the best deck or you don't. I mean, look at Vivi. It's like destroying Standard right now with the Soul Cauldron deck.
Right.
And, you know, there was no ban for it and all this other stuff. And it's just, Constructed has been a shit show because of the unreliable control of the cards that are coming out.
Right.
And they need to focus more on the functionality of cards rather than the collectability of cards, because you can make a really good functional card and put great artwork on it and collectors are still going to get it.
Oh yeah.
So it's not and collectors aren't like, ooh, this card is, I'm collecting it because it's played in every deck. No, they're collecting it because it's physically enticing to their senses with the artwork.
Oh yeah.
And so, or it pertains to certain nostalgia like Final Fantasy or Avatar. Like, that's the reason why people are collecting.
Right.
So if they, what?
I say, you remember when cards used to be collectible and pricey because people were playing it in multiple formats?
Yes.
Where now certain artworks and certain print runs of cards are dictating the price of a card.
Yep. So, like, for instance, you can look at Bloomberg. There's like one card has 7 alternate versions of it, and if you get the ultra spicy gilded foil of Raul Zarek, it's like $150. But if you get the normal version, it's like $7. Which that is a perfect example of how to make a card that's very desirable collectively, but also still playable in the sense that the players can afford to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like alternate artwork because I'm OCD-ish and I want mine to all match. But if that's what it takes to where the collector can have theirs and the players can have theirs, I am all for it. You give me a cheap $2-3 version of a play piece that I need, and the collectors want to go after the $200 version, great. We're both satisfied. We're both happy.
Oh yeah,
I can deal with that.
Like, one of my favorite things to do when I got monies to drop on Magic cards, and I will go through, like, I love special variants, but I'll go to Card Kingdom, look up like borderless cards, and I'll price the list from lowest to highest, and just start looking for the cheap stuff that I want and bulk those up rather than just buy one expensive card that I do want.
Right.
And, you know, I do that a lot because I love the bulk nature of cheap cards that are playable. But, you know, there are times you got to give in and buy that expensive card to sit over the bulk list. But it's always fun. And since I like alternate versions of cards and I like alternate versions of cards in like particular decks, I'll do it. And, you know, I like to spend smart and I like to have fun, you know. And I think that's something that Wizards of the Coast definitely needs to focus on, is people like me who love to play the game, who do like the fancy arts, but love to play the game, but like find that sweet spot where the playability of the card is the collectability of the card, not just the treatment of the card.
Right.
So what you're saying is you like to shop smart. You like to shop S-smart.
That's right. TC Dude says, for sure, I got a borderless foil traveling chocobo. I've been thinking about trading them down into a play set of regulars. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool idea. Like, look, it's okay to have your own personal opinion about cards, right? For example, when Jeweled Lotus came out, I made a short video saying I don't think this card should have ever been printed. It's dumb, right? To me, it's dumb. And for a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, someone bought me a collector box of that set, that Commander's Master set. And I ended up pulling a foil etched variant of Jeweled Lotus.
Cool.
Right?
And then his whole opinion changed and he put it in his deck.
Well, no, I turned around and sold it so I can get more cards. Then when I built my first Eldrazi deck, I'm like, maybe I should have kept it. But then I'm like, well, same thing is, I didn't need it. Like, I didn't need it. And Jeweled Lotus was there mainly for the CEDH players. You know, that's the people who love the card the most. But I still believe that the card should have been printed. But now it's a real card. I can't ignore the fact that it's not a real card. But what I'm telling people is if you don't like the card, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to play it. You don't have to keep it if you pull it. It's all right to not like a card. Though one thing I would suggest doing with your Magic the Gathering playstyle is learn deck building. Learn the cards you want in the deck. Learn your meta. There's a whole life of Magic in the game of Magic itself, right? Like if you look at underneath my name, it says Super Fast Tortoise, says you are important to your hobby. That's because you are important to your hobby. You're important to the way you collect. You're important to the way you play. You know, give Magic life by playing the game. That's the best way you can support the game is buying the product to play the game. Buy booster boxes to draft. One of the funnest formats ever to do is draft. And Kevin Haynes said earlier, Magic 30th should have been a proxy draft boosters at about $100 a box. Maybe reissued beta boxes with the 30th anniversary backs, like with the backs being different like they were, only unable to be in sealed or casual, only usable in sealed and casual, allowing everyone to celebrate, which would have been amazing. I would love something like that.
That's exactly what I talked about too with that whole thing. It should have been presented like that, and they would have made so much money on that. They would have made tenfold at least of what they made originally.
Oh yeah, they probably would have, because you know it is a missed opportunity there. I'll admit that.
Mm-hmm. Right, and you know, like I understand that Universes Beyond has to be a little more expensive because there's money invested just to have the IP and the use of the characters alone. So I understand $7 a booster pack. I don't complain about $200 for a Spider-Man booster box, play booster box. I understand that it's $200 because that's $7 a pack. So if you're involved in a game and you're involved in the product, interact with the product the way you want to. Because the Wild West of Magic the Gathering is where both the players and WotC are discovering themselves through making, we could say, adolescent-like choices, trying to find the new play style things, how things work, because they're trying to figure out their products while the player base and collector base are trying to figure out Magic's products. And I mean, it's weird to think about this. Magic the Gathering is 30 years old, and they're still acting like they're a new company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they got to keep fresh face for the newer players. But you know, it's the older players that keep the mindset of, well, Magic is good when it's this way. You know, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. The older players, but you know, we live in a world where not everybody's making $30 an hour at a job, so they can't afford all the products. So you got to be smart with your buying, right? Like
even at $30 an hour, it's still not enough. I'll tell you that much.
Right. Well, $30 an hour I just mentioned because that's actually a decent wage for a good job.
It is, but it isn't.
Right. And please, this is my opinion here. Don't buy Magic product on a credit card. it's really not worth it. Unless you're selling.
No, it's not.
Unless you're the seller, reseller, I can see why you do it because if you make your money back. But it's not worth it to pay interest on a play booster box. They're already expensive enough.
Yep.
You know, same with a collector booster. Oh my lord, collector boosters are insanely priced. Holy cow!
Realistically, like 95% of things in life are not worth putting on a credit card.
Right. Yeah. So you know, the Wild West is just everybody's learning to deal with the changes, and the changes are noobish changes. But the thing is, the changes what Wizards of the Coast been making has been successful for them. And instead of thinking, what can we do better? They're thinking, what can we do that's going back to that same well to drive that much money back?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as we don't get a stupid racing car set again.
Oh my gosh! Don't remind me of that set. Dang blanket.
No. Kevin Haynes says, good discussion. Have to start getting headed to work. Have a good day, everyone. You have a good day, Kevin Haynes. Thank you for stopping by. Holy cow, I can't believe it's already been 40 minutes since we started. Where did the time fly there?
Wow.
I think a good racing car set with an IP would be Tron.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I actually have flavor. I actually have characters, you know?
Yeah, that would. So they want to do a Universes Beyond and make a good set like that with vehicles and other things. Tron for sure.
Yeah, but I think Tron needs more lore to make a bigger set because I think it's kind of a small thing they could just make a secret layer out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're at what, movie number 3 with it?
Right. And you know, one thing I think I'd love to see a Universes Beyond thing for would be that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like if they made a full set, there's enough characters out there they can make a whole 240 card set.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm telling you, with the whole Sonic secret layer, I would love to see a Smash Bros. IP.
We discussed that not too long ago.
Yeah, we did. But I think that would be quote unquote a smash hit.
Right, smash. Pun intended.
I would love to see a Masters of the Universe set.
Yep. Yeah, Master Universe would be good. Master Universe is one of those sets they collab with about anybody, so you might see that. TCG Dude says, not financial advice. I acquired a GameStop credit card this year, and it has been nice supporting my local GameStop, and the player points add up. I bought Edge Attorney's bundles for $26 flat. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Right. But that's not the kind of credit card I was talking about, but that's good. Yep. Support your local game stores for sure. I support mine as best as I can. Coolio's. They need a hat. They need a hat so I can buy a hat. Because I've been going to Coolio's more than Tempest lately. But yeah.
You can always just get one made for yourself.
Right. But I don't want to get in trouble for stealing their IP if I ever walk in their store and they're like, where'd you get that? I have to explain, I stole your logo.
Well, that's why you talk to them first and then say, hey, I'm going to make a hat. And if they're like, hey, could you make a bunch and we'll put them in here and we'll give you a commission? You know, you never know. You could start something there.
Well, they do their own things. They sell their own coffee cups, which is pretty cool. Because, you know, Tortoise did the coffee cup thing himself. They probably got a better rate in their stuff because they did a lot. They have a couple other things. They don't have hats yet, but they have a couple other things with their names on it. You know.
Have you mentioned the hat idea?
I've talked about it. I asked them if they had them. And they said no.
Okay.
All right. Teacher Dude says, great idea. I'm about to support your LGS products for my Printfinity store. Nice.
Cool.
And he means up on mine. Nice. Yeah, because I still need to get a super fast tortoise hat. I need to get that made. I if anybody gets a super fast tortoise hat, and I'm at least gonna make one for myself. I like in Dreamland, I'd like to have the money to give more people hats, but we already got a giveaway coming up this next month, so we gotta care about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna care about that with that. So Lone Wolf.
Yep.
You've been quiet. Probably a little too quiet. What's your thoughts about things so far?
Well, the first thing I gotta say is I don't even know what the Magic's 30th anniversary was.
Wow.
So when you guys were talking about that, I didn't even know that was a thing, to be completely honest.
Oh, they did a lot of things, but the big thing people are talking about is they reprinted it, and they reprinted cards on. They made fake Magic cards, basically
Proxies.
proxies of a set that they promised they would never reprint.
Well, that doesn't sound like a great idea to me, but
Well, so technically they said they would never reprint it in a way that would diminish the value of the original set. That's what the whole reserve list was,
Right,
because of the whole Chronicles Legends debacle and everything.
right,
The reserve list was made to not make a set that is resellable in equivalent value.
right.
So them making proxies, they did it before with the International Edition and the Collector's Edition. So that is their special way of getting around reprinting without it destroying the value of the original cards.
Right, and they knew. You can't tell me they don't know, because people play with gold border cards in Commander. That they knew Commander players would go after that too, because those are functional reprints of cards they can play in Commander if they want to. Not the banned cards, but the cards that are good that are in those sets.
Yep.
Yep.
so did a lot of people buy this 30th anniversary stuff, or not really?
People did, because not to play with them because of the dumb idea, and they were highly collectible. Collectors went after it really hard.
And it only sold about 10% of what they thought it was going to do. Wizards didn't want to release the numbers, but somebody did some digging, and the amount that they thought they were going to sell versus what they actually sold was way below expectations, because they literally tried to sell you 4 packs for $1,000, which is basically $250 a pack.
Yep.
And it made no sense, because
They're not legal cards.
yeah, you could get a Black Lotus, but that's not playable in Commander. Yeah, you could get dual lands and all the other stuff, but they were proxies. They weren't real cards. That's why when Kevin and I were talking about that earlier, they should have just made booster boxes to be, I mean, even the booster boxes were $250.
Yeah.
Getting 30 packs for $250, people would eat that up. Look at mystery boosters. People buy the crap out of those all the time. And they got cards in them that people don't really play with. And so it would have been a great investment on their part. And I think hopefully, now I'm giving Wizards too much credit here, but hopefully they learned their lesson. So if they do something for, let's say, Magic Anniversary 35th edition, they do something better and more pragmatic towards the audience than what they did before.
Oh yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope. That's what we can hope. But with that, my friends, we're going crazy over here. The Wild West of Magic's definitely changing its front, its face. We're looking different. I'm trying different things, new things.
So,
what's up?
Go ahead.
I was about to say, hopefully we're going to turn into a good direction that everybody can enjoy, not just the collectors.
Yep. What I was going to say is, I just hope that the cards, I don't want to see Magic go down, but at this rate they're going, I think they might kill their game. I hope not, but I mean, this is just opinion. But and if they do, I hope the cards get cheaper, where a regular player such as myself can afford the cards.
Well, I think one of the reasons why prices have climbed at Wizard of the Coast is people say it's cheap to print cards, but I think it's harder to print cards with different faces, and it costs the money differential costs different, because if they make a borderless card with special foiling on it, it costs a little more than just a regular card, and they have to make up for that somehow. But I do not fully understand how it all works, because what was once a $200 product is climbed up to like $300 to $400, So I don't understand the jump on that price.
Right.
But
That's what I'm talking. That's the price that I'm trying to hit at.
Right. I know Wizard of the Coast revealed their MSRPs, but I wish they were more transparent with the products to
Well, you
show.
have to remember too, it's not just about the physical product too. You have the employees behind it, the people who are developing the cards, people running the machines to print everything.
Right.
Wages go up, cost of living goes up. So when their expenses go up in every department, not just the physical product, they
Right.
have to find a way to increase the money coming in, the revenue coming in to offset the revenue going out. And
Right. No, it
so,
makes sense. And I was
yeah.
about to tap on some of that. I thought,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. They're good because we know there's bills and things you got to pay. I discussed this months back behind. There's bills that we don't understand. I just wish Wizards of the Coast was more transparent with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But with that, my friends, with all the exciting things, it's time to hit this button right here. Right here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Woo! Everybody, can't believe it's that time of day where we get to the shill section. The shill section. What sort of saying? The shill section where we start shilling each other's channels and talking about each other in ways that are positive, and hopefully that you accumulate and participate in becoming a part of our creep, our crew, our friendship circle. And with that, we're going to start with the one person who really doesn't have a channel, but he always likes to talk about other people's channels. We got Lone Wolf.
All right, hey everybody! Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, I don't have a channel, but that doesn't mean I can't help support others. So, everyone here, you like, subscribe if you got a channel, and then let's get Hillbilly and Tortoise up to 1,500.
And now we're going to roll over to the Capitan of Waffle Holes.
So I haven't really been doing much. Kind of been taking a psychological life break. Been working on my second book and some other stuff, but I'm hopefully going to get around to posting some content soon. Just been really busy and taking care of, the real life stuff. That comes first. But hopefully going to make some magic content and some other stuff, and just, stay tuned.
Nice. Stay tuned. Ooh, when's that link going to drop? Drop. All right. Now we're going to roll over to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. Around 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to try to have a new deck to play on Arena. And then tomorrow or morning, we're going to do some Arena. And tomorrow afternoon, we're going to do some Path of Exile.
All right.
That's the plans for today and tomorrow.
Sounds good. Woo-hoo. All right. And we're going to go super fast Tortoise here. Thanking everybody. If links didn't pop up for people's chat, like Captain Waffles in chat, his link to his channel is in the description below. So if you want to, check that out. I do not know if I'm going to play any Commander tonight. Do not know yet. This is a Friday. The wife's been off all week, but I'm going to try to give her some hangout time to hang out with the family tonight. And we're going to have time to enjoy each other's company and have family time this week because we're supposed to watch Alien Romulus like at 11 o'clock tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll figure out how it goes. If I do a game tonight, I'll let you all know in Discord. But so far, the plan is not to.
Okay.
So with that in mind, letting you know all of that, every Monday through Friday, we do have a morning show. Check it out. Check it out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button for notifications. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, making our day great. Thank you, Captain Waffles, for making a surprise entrance today on the show. I love everybody here. You guys are amazing. And everybody out here in chat, thank you for joining us, chatting with us, and listening to our topic. Hope it was good for you and fun times. I want to remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you might be the change they need. And with that, my friends, we're going to get to that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends have been the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show.